Good morning. Today's Thursday. I've just come back from the dentist, so you'll have to excuse the bottom lip. They've numbed it up, so I feel a bit, my speech isn't perfect, but here we are. So I thought I'd do a bit of work on the wow, changing tyres and things, because I've just been getting too many punches, and I realised that the Kojaks that were on there at the moment are totally bald and gashes everywhere and whatnot. So I had a new Kojak in my shed, which I've stuck on the wow on one side for now, and I'm ordering 3 pairs of new Geranos to keep me going. So that's the Kojak I've just put on the wow, and brand spanking new. I bought it a year ago and took it on a tour of Europe, never used it, so I've just stuck it on the wow now, so looking good. Okay, so we have Questy and the wow out today, so I thought while I'm here I might as well show you inside both bikes and what sort of gear I'm running, which should be quite interesting. Okay, so we'll start with Questy, who needs a wash, and she's got a few dings already as I've been trying to fit through narrow bollards which were slightly too narrow. I don't know whether you can see that along there. Took off a lot of the paint, but that's part and parcel of ownership. I mean, I've already put marks and dings on the wow as well. I think this stuff is just grease, so that's alright, that'll come off. Yeah, that's just grease. I noticed that the paint's come away here, and I think that happened when I was wild camping, or when I went down a pedestrianised crossing and it bottomed out a bit. That could be that. That happens a lot with the wow because the nose is on the long side, so usually it grinds out if the slope's too steep. The tip of the nose will hit the ground before the rest of the wow has reached it. Okay, so let's get back to the Quest anyway. And in here, which is my mat, but I need to stick this Velcro down again. It's come loose here. Just put that there a minute. Okay, right, that's the mat reading light, which comes as standard in Quest. I used to have one with a halogen bulb, but my mate Lee, who did all the work on both bikes, and he's a fantastic, he's fantastic around velomobiles. He knows them inside out, so he's the man I always go to if I need any work of a high quality done on any of my velomobiles. I don't bother with anyone else, there's no point. Okay, so basically Lee upgraded this thing, which is a cigarette lighter, and that charges up phones, GPS, which invaluable, can't do without it. It's absolutely brilliant. And what else has he done in here? He upgraded the headlights. I used to have halogen bulbs, the old 2007 Quest headlights. I've now got the modern Quest headlights in the front, which comes with the brand new Quests you buy nowadays. Okay, and this didn't come with a horn, so he's put a horn in, wired it up, so now I have a horn button here as well, which is brilliant. I think my indicator switch used to be on a control panel here, which he's removed, and he's put them on the steerer. So I now have turn signals, and he's upgraded the bulbs to LEDs because they were halogen, and I only had one halogen bulb here, which he's now put 2 LEDs on either side, and a LED bulb either side at the front, which used to be big round, not so bright halogen bulbs. So that was the upgrade there. Next upgrade Lee did was this one here. Hopefully you can see that, this little knob here, which has 3 settings for the rear light. So you have brake light, which comes on when you squeeze the brakes in, which I never used to have, and then you have level 1, level 2, super bright at the back, level 3. Absolutely awesome. And he stuck a new carbon panel on here, new lights here for all the new buttons. Fantastic. I have Look pedals inside, which is a recent upgrade because I bought Look shoes. I have a 56, 44 and a 24 tooth chainring there, and at the back I have 1132. Okay, now over to the wow. So the wow, yep, has all these new lights at the back, which are just brake lights, And if same sort of thing as that one, if you flick the switch onto level 2, all of these LED lights here at the back, all of them, the whole cluster, end up being your running rear lights on all the time, and then when you squeeze the brake in, they get even brighter. And I've got the same thing as the Quest, 2 indicators either side, LED fitted, which I never used to have, and at the front I have a LED indicator there, and then I have 3 daytime running lights, which are just LEDs, which I can have on or off on a permanent basis. One thing what's happened, I do not know where my windscreen is. I cannot find it. I've searched high and low, I've moved house, and I think it's just been left behind, which is really annoying, because it means I'm going to have to purchase another one, but I'm not going to get it till the winter, there's no point. It costs quite a lot as well. Okay, so inside the WOW we have a 54 tooth big ring, 44 again, and a 24 for the big hills. Totally different steering system in the WOW to the Quest. So you have the tank steering, which I quite like. It's quite relaxing on a really long trip. What do I prefer over both if I had to choose? I think the tiller on the Quest most probably. That's the one that slightly wins it for me, but I'm used to this. I've had this for years, so it's all good. So we've had the seat repaired, which Lee has done all the fiberglass work there. He's built a new carbon chain tunnel, reinforced it so it won't crack and collapse like the last one did. And I have to take the seat out to show you that, so that's a few bolts, and I'm not going to do that right now. This is new, this new control box. I haven't got a battery in here at the moment to show you how that works, but we can do the demo with the buttons anyway. Okay, so we've got the turn signals here, which I've got used to. I just thought it was a bit odd at first, felt weird with the thumb. I've got the horn here. These are hazard lights, so all the yellow blinkers will flash in an emergency, or if you've pulled over at the side of the road and you want the cars coming up to know that you've actually stopped in a dodgy place or something. This is for your daytime running lights and 4 rear LED lights on permanently, and the day running lights on the front, 3 LEDs on. That's rear lights off, LED lights off, that's LED running lights on the front on, all your rear LED lights on super bright, and then when you brake they illuminate. You've got brake lights as well now, which Lee has fitted, new brake levers, wired up the brake lights. These 2 buttons here are quite interesting, because I now have a socket either side of the mirrors, the 12 volt socket, so I can fit lights or whatever I need to that, which is super cool. And yep, that's the WOW. Super light. Look at that. And fun to ride. I've been using the WOW a lot more than the Quest recently, because I prefer the handling of the WOW. It's just immense, you know. You have a lot more fun in the WOW. Needs a wash. So the WOW, yep, great machine. Looking fantastic. That's the 2 bikes together. Leave your comments and let me know which velomobile you prefer the look of. For me, I love them both, but I don't know, I couldn't choose between them really. They both have different advantages and different disadvantages. You know, I think I rode the WOW to Bath the other day, did the wild camping, went up to the races there, spectated on the Saturday, not last weekend, the weekend before, and then rode back on the Sunday. So it's like 120 miles each way, and it's fine. The lack of rear suspension, if you can't see the pothole in front and you go over it with the back wheel, it's quite jarring, and after 9 hours it becomes a little bit tiresome. I still haven't got the rear suspension on them because it's quite an old WOW. I think it was number 71 that they ever made, and I thought about fitting it retrospectively because you can buy it now, but I quite like it without at the moment. We'll see, maybe in the future. So now there's a com which I'm after on Strava, which is just up the road, and I'm going to go for it now and see if I can do it in the Quest, because I think it's 109 and I've the King of the Mountain section, the segment, and I've done it in 140 in the Quest coming home from work. So now I'm going to go and obliterate it, check on my phone to see exactly where it starts and where it finishes, and give it a good go. Big chain ring, and I'll let you know how that goes. Wish me luck. Okay, so the attempt at the com didn't quite get it. There is a couple of set of lights which you do need to have on green to get through at your top speed. That would help a lot. I had to wait at the lights, but I still improved my the attempt was 1 minute and 40 seconds, so I've shaved 7 seconds off of that last attempt, and uh-oh, here comes trouble, and 7 seconds off of that 7 seconds 7 seconds off 7 seconds off of that attempt, and I'm now on 1 minute and 33. I just saw that Andy Allsop has 1 minute and 29 seconds, so I'm only 4 seconds behind you, Andy, and I'm gunning for you. If you see this video, you better go and improve your time. I'm going to attempt it in the WoW. I think I can definitely get it in that. A certain small section is quite bumpy, and the quest was all over the road on that bit. So I'll give it an attempt in the WoW. So yeah, didn't quite get it this time, but there's always next time. Okay, TTFN.